Park Central. This is one of those things that 4 years ago was a nightmare. Yeah. Oh, this is great. We are looking through Steve's new book here. It is the Walking Albuquerque book, and I'm finding so many places in this book that just I remember not too long ago were so different. The Hotel Park Central is in here, and you give a nice little description of how to get to it and everything about it. And that's one of the most fascinating redevelopments of Albuquerque,
Absolutely.
I think, because really, 5 years ago, it was still just a bombed-out old building. And then it just, like, overnight became a luxury hotel.
Yeah.
And what did you find out about that?
I was surprised how recently it was active up until, when did they take the kids out of there, like in the 80s? Like,
It was late 80s.
and so it was before I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a mental hospital before it was the hotel.
And with the ghost stories going on there, you would think it must have shut down in the 40s or something.
Right.
But no, it was
They're,
still.
they're actually
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
recent. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely there in the 80s.
Yeah, and that's one of the many things in the new book that you don't realize that just the other day was something entirely different. You know, what else is in like that in the book? I know the Balloon Museum is still relatively new.
Right.
Mesa del Sol is new. What are some of the other things that people might not have seen that are?
There's a couple other hospitals, haunted hospitals, of course, and half the town's haunted.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
we
right.
all know. So, and those stories always get interesting. And it's not just that the town is changing so much right now. It's always been constantly growing so fast. And that was the hardest, one of the biggest challenges for me was to get my head around what was it like before, when the railroad came, or before we could control the river, when things were flooding, everything, life was all just beneath the rim before they got up into the heights. And you can hardly recognize the escarpment above Edith when you're driving past it so fast.
Right.
It's not until you start walking along it you can see what a big division that must have been prior to World War II.
Precisely.
Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of us think of as the heights. You know,
Right.
that is one of the defining things.
And it
Las
makes sense
Lomas,
now.
yeah.
Right. Right. It is one of those things. What about some endangered areas? Were there areas of the city that you walked in, putting together Walking Albuquerque, that there were areas where you're like, this is something special that you're worried about changing and developing and something we could lose?
There are several buildings that aren't being protected adequately that are going to go. One was used for a film set recently. What was that Johnny Depp, Morgan Freeman movie that they filmed down by Joy Junction? That school there.
Oh,
You mean 502nd Street?
Way down.
Way down,
Yeah,
okay.
way down 2nd Street.
Okay.
And
no, yeah.
That's all right.
that's all right.
But, yeah,
It wasn't a great movie, but
for the
the
more trying to figure
building-
out where it was.
the
But
building was-
there are these places, and
Yeah.
they are in the book. And I think in the North
And,
Valley.
yeah, and I'm hoping they're still going to be standing by the time people take the walk because, part of that, one of the hospitals had collapsed during our last monsoon season, just the one wing of it.
Yeah.
And hope it's still there. So
Well, we can find you. You have a website that details the book and details the corrections and all the other fun stuff that's happening
two corrections so far.
And it's restlesstribes.com is your website. And Steve Westman, we're the Curious Townie. We can find you all over the web.
I'm everywhere.
You are everywhere.
And
And then
I'll be at Bookworks at 7 p.m. tonight.
getting signed copies of Walking Albuquerque. And then also we have our own awesome website, and you can find us at themorningbrew.tv, where there's everything about the show, and you can find out all about us, how to reach us, and you can find clips there. It's pretty awesome. I love the new website. And you can also find us on social media. We love it when you tweet at us. If you find us on YouTube at Morning Brew, you can like our page on Facebook at Morning Brew Show, and then tweet at us at My Morning Brew. I love that. I'm loving the Twitter. And it's a great way just to easily connect with us, find out everything we're doing, find out all the book signings we're going to, and all the stuff we're excited about, and all the things that are on the show.
It's popping.
Right. And like tomorrow on the show, we've got Tierna Unreinos here from the city. She's going to talk about all the new special events coming up from the city. Carlos Contreras with Tractor Brewery, and he's going to have a performance from our friend Aaron Vent, right? Carlos is a fun guy.
Yeah.
And Clifton Chadwick is going to talk about a new small business survey. You know Clifton Chadwick, Steve.
yeah.
He's the head of the Keep It Quirky group, and they're this small business kind of group in
I like what
Albuquerque.
they're doing. It's
Right,
good stuff.
and they're encouraging everybody to shop locally, find the places like Bookworks that are supporting local authors. authors like you. And Clifton will talk about all about his new survey that talks about how important those businesses are.
Good for him.
And real quickly, we got to go down to Bookworks tonight at 7 to get a copy of Walking Albuquerque. And I'm going to have to get on some hiking shoes and check out some of these places.
Right.
Excellent. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Morning Brew with
Thanks,
Friends.
Morning Brew.